everybody. Welcome to Monday night. I am your host, Dennis, on Stevens Motorsports. I am solo tonight. AJ is got the night off, so I have officially taken over the channel. We are here with the free-to-fly hauling late model stocks for the Yes Car series. So this is the first night where we'll be back, and this one should be a good race. I did a couple practice races in these myself, and I did it with the AI, but these things are a blast around here. This should be a great race. This will offer a lot more side-by-side racing than we saw last week at Hickory. But we're going to transition over here into qual. As these guys get ready to qual, I will throw up, let's get some race info up for you guys this evening. So 10 lap heat, just like we saw last week. And then after the 10 lap heat, that'll set the grid for the feature, which will be 75 laps. They get one tire change, one fast repair, and then 2 green-white checkers in that main event. So this should be a fun night tonight. Get these guys out here and turning some laps here. In the AI races I did around here, these things were a blast. So I'm looking forward to this. These guys are going to put on a heck of a show tonight. Speaking of the league and putting on a show, the points battle is tight in this league. You got Daniel Brunelli leading the points over Nate Gregg only by 9 points. So the first 2 positions are very, very tight. Colton Brooks is 3rd in points. You got Dominic Lumley, last week's winner, sitting in 4th, and Billy Gregg is in 5th. And the top 5 are separated by 41 points. So it is a very, very tight points battle. And we are only 7 weeks in. With what I've seen and what I felt in the car, you're going to see a lot of side-by-side racing, and it'll be very interesting to see, other than last week where we saw the bottom lane become the dominant. I think we'll see the opposite here. I think the mid lane's going to be the ripper around here tonight. So, and we'll see who can manage what lane better, because you can get a run off the bottom. So I think this one will definitely lead to some very tight racing. As you see, as people are putting in qual laps here, even the qual times here are super tight. Right now your pole sitter's only up by 0.004 of a second. So the top 5 separated less than half a tenth. So this one should be a really good one. Let's get your track map up, see if... No. And the track map is broken. So it's doing the same thing it does to AJ. Yay. There we go. Sometimes it's finicky. Gotta love software. But we'll make sure this looks good for everyone here tonight. So glad that we could pick this series up. It's another thing that we can get these guys that normally don't get to have a platform to be viewed on out and about and have their family and friends watching. So should have about a minute left of qual here, and then we'll start kicking things over. I see everyone in chat. Hi Polar, Diggs, Stoku, Send It. How you guys doing tonight? Well, Polar, without you guys, there's nothing for me to do. So I appreciate you guys and reaching out to us to help you guys with this. So like I said, I'm super excited for this. $14 cars around here. This should be a great night. Looks like yep. So that just kicked over. Let's grab those. Turn this off. So your starting lineup for your heat race will be Colton Brooks got the pole with a 22.244. Daniel Brunelli's going to be second, starting third. Dominic Lumley, last week's winner. Billy Gregg is going to be fourth. Nolan Marshall, fifth. Nate Gregg, sixth. Trey Galgan, seventh. Joseph Klein, eighth. Joseph Wendt, ninth. Jerry Ellis is going to be 10th. Jaden McGowan is 11th. Oh, Keith Powell. Keith says yes, starting 12th. Kenneth Flippin is going to be 13th. Jonathan Wade, 14th. 15th is going to be Jimmy DeVoe. And then Gage Knox is Polar. He is race control, so he is not going to be in the car. As these guys start warming up these tires for this 10-lap heat. And actually, it looks like this split up into 2 different heats. We had enough cars. So, I don't know. There we go. There's the actual grid for this heat. Got to get this software all figured out. So, Colton Brooks, Dominic Lumley, Nolan Marshall, Trey Gallen, Joseph Wendt, Jaden McGowan, Kenneth Flippin, and Jamie DeVoe is going to be this heat. And then we will have a second heat following this. The pace car peels off. These guys wrap around turns 3 and 4. And we are green. Nice launch by both lanes there. Lumley's going to try to hold on his outside coming off a 2. He gets a better run. Lumley to the lead. Clears Brooks. Now Brooks gets dragged back and he squeak away from this battle for third. Dominic still leads. Brooke clears in the second and Marshall follows him through. Now battle for fourth. Nope. As Joseph Wendt just can't get there yet on Galgan. Single file through the field so far. Yeah, these guys, this is such a fun track. You can see there's multiple lines you can run. You see these guys kind of arcing it middle lane and then slowly cutting it to the bottom on exit. Dominic Lumley still leads, but Colton Brooks isn't letting him walk away from him. It's tight. It's tight in the top 3 still. Front three, nose to tail. Marshall's looking for a way to get a run to get underneath Brooks here. As the 13 of Brooks guys peek on the inside of Lumley. Nothing there yet. Top three have started to pull away from your fourth place car of Galgan. It's so weird watching these cars because when they come off the corners, the ass end of them just hangs out. Top three are still nose to tail here. 3 laps to go in this first heat. If you're Brooks, do you try to push the issue to get a better one row better starting position for the feature, or are you content finishing second here? White flag is out. Let's see if Colton Brooks has anything for him, or they've started to open up a small gap on Marshall in third. Colton Brooks tries to look low, can't get the bite off the corner. Dominic Lumley is going to go from winning last week's feature to winning the first heat of the night. So not a bad start to the night. As we transition over into the second heat race, Daniel Brumley's going to get the pole for this one. We got Billy Gregg second, Nate Gregg third, Joseph Klein fourth, Jerry Ellis fifth, Keith says yes, Keith Powell sixth, Jonathan Wade will be seventh, and then Gage Knox, Ian Polar, he will not be in this one because he is helping at the Eye in the Sky, so. Sorry about the screen flash, trying to get all these things over my other screen where I need to for chat and stuff, so. One thing about internet stuff and broadcasting, screens kind of do what they want sometimes, so. Trying to make it do it when it's not going to affect you guys and what you see for the racing, so. Again, another 10 laps here, so looks like only 6 cars grid. It doesn't look like Wade made the grid this time. So 6 cars in this heat, 10 laps, and there's some quick people in this one. Brumley's quick, both Greggs are quick, Klein's quick. You can never count out old Keith in the back either. So. This should be a really good heat race here. Brumley didn't get a good start to last week's feature. He comes in with the point lead still. So hopefully he can right the ship from last week's, I think he's still got top 5 or top 6, so. Yeah, Diggs, I hear that. These computers are funky as these guys wrap around turn 4, get ready for the green flag. Green is out. Loud pedals down. Great launch from both lanes there. Daniel is going to clear him. Ooh, as he taps the wall. Brumley out to the lead. Billy Gregg in second, and then he's getting hounded by his son, Nate Gregg, in third. As these guys start to single file out here. Now it's just testing what lane is going to take the grip. Which one do you want to prefer? I think this is going to be a lot more racy than we saw last week at Hickory. Hickory was just, once you got 3 laps on that track, it was more of a bottom feeder. Here, I think this is going to offer a lot better racing. As these boys complete 3 laps in, Daniel Brumley still leads over Billy and Nate Gregg. Joseph Klein is in 4th. Keith is back there in 5th, battling with Jerry Ellis. Daniel is starting to get a little bit of a gap here between him and Billy. As I say that, Billy can attack the corners a lot more, but Daniel gets such a better drive off. Yeah, AJ, go get some sleep. Get your voice back. You sound like crap. As there's a battle between father and son. Nate Gregg is trying to peek his nose to the inside, just doesn't have anything there yet. Four to go. Just like in the first feature, or the first heat there, the front 3 aren't separating themselves out very far. One slip up and they're all on top of each other, so Klein's back there in 4th trying to figure out what these guys are doing differently and where he can gain the speed at, as Nate looks inside his dad. Nope, not there yet. That's going to let Nate fall back and slide a little bit. Give all 3 of these guys a little bit of breathing room. Brumley's out to a 4/10 of an advantage lead, coming to the white flag. Brumley's opened it up to 5/10 here on the last lap. And that's going to do it for heat number 2. Daniel Brumley's going to win heat 2, followed by Billy Gregg, Nate Gregg, Joseph Klein, old Keith Powell, Keith says yes in 5th, and Jerry Ellis in 6th. And now all of a sudden, just like that, in the magic of iRacing, we are now under the lights. And this will be your starting grid for your 75 lap feature. Dominic Lumley is going to start on the pole. Daniel Brumley going to start on his outside. Colton Brooks will be 3rd. Billy Gregg 4th. Nolan Marshall 5th. Nate Gregg 6th. Trey Galgan 7th. Joseph Klein 8th. Joseph went 9th. Keith says yes. Keith Powell 10th. Jaden McGowan is 11th. Jerry Ellis is 12th. Bump this back. And then you got Jamie DeVoe in 13th. Jonathan Wade is 14th. And kind of flipping will round out your field in 15th. Bring up the race info again just so you guys can see. Done with the heats. Time for the 75 lap feature. They got 2 sets of tires, 1 on the car, 1 in the pits, 1 faster pair, and 2 green-white checkers for tonight. Can Dominic Lumley go back-to-back? He won the feature last week with between him and Nate Gregg. They were up front that whole tire race last week. Can he keep it up front here tonight? Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't beat these things under the lights. There's something about late models at night that will never get old. As the pace car pulls off down onto pit road, these boys will tighten it up and go 2 by 2. Dominic Lumley is going to lead the field out of turn 4. And the green flag is out. Why is my tower not on? There it is. Ooh, a couple people smacking the wall. Brumley got a good restart on that outside. Dominic Lumley's going to try to fight back on the bottom. Nothing there yet. Tucks in behind. Looks like Keith back there slapping the wall a little bit. Everyone starts to single file throughout the field until... Ooh! I think that might be a yellow. I don't know. There it is. Let's go back and see what all transpired here. Saw a couple people get the wall and then get loose. I know I saw Joseph went get up into the wall. Yeah, he gets loose there. Tries to correct it. It snaps to the right. He hits the wall. At the same time, the 01's spinning in the back. Oh, and then Keith got in the back of him. That collects him into Trey Galgan. And yeah, all 3 of those guys are going to have... They shouldn't have... They got quite a bit of damage, actually. I know this car is pretty resilient. Ooh, the 82 does squeak by. So, Jaden McGowan squeaks through. Oh, that was close for... Oh, who was that? That was kind of flipping. That barely squeaked through there. So under our first caution for the night, hopefully those guys can... There is 1 faster pair, so if it's too much damage, these guys can get that and head on back out, so... Definitely not something you want to use right away, though. Now let's see. We saw Brumley get a really good jump on that outside. Let's see if Lumley can do the same here with them having to switch sides here and Lumley go to the top now. I see Keith is back out on track, so that's good. These guys are... Lights are off. They're going to start doubling up here. I've always thought it was funny, like if you look at even your front two cars that are clean, the right front sticks out of the front fender. I always think that's funny looking on these things. As the field doubles up 2x2. Brumley's gonna be the control car. Green is out. He gets a great launch. And he clears Lumley going into one. Lumley's gonna try to cut low. He takes the line away. Ooh, these guys are slapping the wall coming out of two. Wonder, I never tested this setup at night. I wonder if it tightened it up. No, Tom, that is Dominic Lumley. Everyone's pretty single file. Well, actually, everyone's single file now as we come off of 4. Biggest mover of the race is Jerry Ellis. He is up 4 spots from 12th to 8th. So he's slowly on the move here. As Brumley is out to about a 4/10 advantage lead. Everyone's in just, looks like everyone's just in ride mode right now, just trying to let the tires even out. I'm surprised that another lane, everyone's just running the same lane. Surprised no one's tried moving to the very top yet. Field still all single file. 11 laps in the book. As it looks like there's a battle back here between Ellis and Galgan starting to heat up. Ellison jumped to the inside, give Galgan the outside. Yeah, right there, that drive right there shows me there's something in that top lane that they're just not using yet. Brumley's out to, he's managing that 4/10 of a gap lead. Dominic Lumley back in second. Colton Brooks third. Billy Gregg fourth. His son Nate Gregg's in fifth. Nolan Marshall is in sixth. Joseph Klein seventh. Trey Galgan eighth. Jerry Ellis drops back to ninth. Jaden McGowan is 10th. Keith is starting to battle back up a little bit. He's up to 11th after coming in for that wreck. Jamie DeVoe is battling on his inside. Then Joseph went. He had to take his faster pair also. So those guys are just trying to manage and not get caught in anything else. Still a lot of racing to go. Brumley's starting to stretch it out at points, almost 6/10 of a second lead. Let's check last lap times here. Yeah, Lumley is a little quicker, and so is Brooks. So, ooh, as Lumley gets the wall off of 2. Yeah, the fastest car in the field the last lap was actually Billy Gregg with that 4:18. and then drops it back down. He's tucked up right behind the 13 of Brooks in front of him, so that's going to affect his lap times a little bit. Looks like the top 8 have kind of broken away in their own little pack here. And then there's a decent gap back here to Jerry, Ellis, McGowan, and then Keith. Dominic Brumley still continues to lead. He's led every lap so far. Yeah, with this being a 75 lap race, I wouldn't be surprised some of these guys are just trying to manage those tires. It's been so long since I've raced these cars competitively that I don't know what the tire file off is anymore. And for a longer race like 75 laps, it could come into play. Everyone's still single file through the top 8. Jump back here, and Jaden's starting to pressure Jerry a little bit. Trying to find a way around Ellis. Keith's still trying to battle back from having to use that fast repair. I think he's just in turn laps mode. Looks like he slapped the wall a couple times. The right front's poking out a lot more than it was before. Joseph went, and then Jamie DeVoe right behind him. Kind of flipping, just out here turning laps, trying to keep the car in one piece. As nothing has changed through the top 5. Oh, top 8 still haven't changed. Galgan still just riding behind Joseph Klein. He is looking at different lanes here, trying to figure out where I can get a run. Nolan Marshall up here having a good run in 6th. Nate Gregg and his dad Billy are 5th and 4th. Colton Brooks rides in 3rd still. Dominic Lumley still trying to hunt down your leader of Daniel Brumley. From what I've heard from the other guys in the league, Daniel is very hard to beat. He's one of those guys that once he gets out front, that you don't want to see him out front. Oh, looks like Keith just made up a couple spots there. Yeah, Keith's starting to move his way forward, battling with Ellis as Ellis slides wide. Good battle back here for just outside the top 10. As your leader's starting to open up the gap more. About 0.6 of a second. That points up to 7. It looks like Dominic's starting to get squirrely off the corners. Like, you'll see that car get really darty. As these guys are actually everyone's starting to spread out a little more than what we were seeing. As the battle for 7th between Klein and Galgan still is a tight battle here. Galgan's still looking, he's still trying to work that low lane. I think it has moved up though. I think we're starting to see that middle lane be used more. Jaden McGowan back in 9th, kind of on an little island here out by himself. Battle for 10th between Jamie DeVoe, Keith as he grabs the wall, and Joseph went. Ellis has dropped off pace a little bit here. Wonder if the car went really tight or if he burned the right front off of it. As Flippin's about to be lapped by your leader here, Brumley. Brumley's opened up 8/10 now. Stupid screen. Yes, I do believe these guys can go a full fuel load without having to pit. These cars normally can do on these short tracks almost 150 laps, if I believe so. Ooh, as Brumley's trying to get around the lap car. Flippin slides up the track. He's gonna try to pull it down out of harm's way. That tightened the battle for the lead back up. He had 8/10 on him, back down to 5 now. Check last lap times here. And Dominic's just slightly quicker. We'll see if now that he's got around that lap car, he's got clean air, if he can start putting faster laps back in, or if Dominic's found something in this long run. And right back down to a 22.5. Lumley was 22.6's back-to-back laps. Billy Gregg is another driver in the 5. So is Marshall. Marshall's down to the 502s. So a couple drivers still flirting with that 22.5 mark. Jump back here and look at the battle heating up. Back here with Marshall. Yeah. Marshall and Nate Gregg here. Battle for 5th. Starting to tighten up here. I see Galgan has kind of fallen off the back of Klein. We are 40 laps into this one. Nice green flag run for these guys. I saw Colton Brooks was grabbing the wall off of 4, and that lets Billy Gregg around him. As we jump back up here, the lead has tightened back up again. Lumley slaps the wall a little bit out of 4, but he's still hounding Brumley, not letting him get away. Yeah, I can see a different line. Looks like these guys are starting to enter low, kind of diamond it in the middle, and then try to turn it back down off of on exit. So they are trying different lines here, seeing what they can find. As I say, the battle gets tight. 2 laps later, Brumley starts to stretch the lead again. Wonder if he's doing the old tire trick of push 1 lap, save the other. Push 1 lap, save. As now that you see him testing that high lane. That lets Lumley close right up to his back door. Front 2 nose to tail. They both grab the wall off of Ford. No harm, no foul. Brumley's like, nope, that top lane ain't gonna work. Going right back down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Lumley's trying to get drive out of the corner. You can see that the back of the car slide, and he's trying to get the power down. "27 laps to go this time." Looks like the lap car that was just out of the corner of your screen, Jamie DeVoe is pitting, and yellow is out. Looks like it's for 13 and 8. Yep, 13 is around. Let's slide this back, see what happens. Oh, he took quite a spill there. So we'll go TV1. 8 tries to get underneath them. Looks like he might have pushed up off the corner a little bit. Then they make contact and spins it around. Like I said, these things, it's got some nose damage to it, but these things are pretty resilient. As all your leaders are coming into pit. Oh, some strategy. Nate Gregg and Billy Gregg, I think, only took 2 tires. So that's gonna mix some things up. Get a race recap on screen for you guys. 51 laps in. Billy Gregg is going to be your leader after those pit stops. 2 cautions for 7 laps with 1 lead change. And let me hide that, make sure that yep, 1 lead change. So the 1 lead change we've had has been under this pit cycle. Oh, let me check something. Can I pull it up? So, yeah, Nate Gregg. So Nate Gregg is your leader. Billy Gregg's going to be back in 6th. But so Nate gained 5 spots in that pit road cycle there. Looks like a couple people double pit. That's why they're single file in the back, I'm thinking. As the green is out. Oh, looking 3 wide. Brumley's going to take the lead right back. Nate's gonna fight back on the outside. Brunelli clears him. Lumley's looking to do the same. Nope, Greg holds second for now. Looks like that was Marshall that swatted the wall there off of 2. The 82's up in the wall. Oh, and Brumley's around. What happened? What happened to your leader? Into 3. Oh, the 28 pushes up the track and got into him. Oh, and 82 of them going had nowhere to go. Oh, and that's Anita Fast Repair. She's crab walking. Looks like Nate Gregg was either claimed that one or was deemed at fault. He's gonna get put to the rear of the field. And that's gonna move Dominic Lumley up to the first place spot. Man, that's... We saw last week Brumley got moved in the heat race, which put him back starting in the feature. And now late in this one, leading as many laps as he has, gets moved out of the way, and now he has to fight from the back again. But he's got a clean car, and I see him in the back. He's already off pit road, so with fresh tires and a clean car, he might be the man on the move. We'll recap for you guys again. 58 in of 75. Dominic Lumley, your leader. 3 cautions for 12 laps. Obviously, the lead changes is wrong. We've had like... Oh, this would probably be 3 or 4 lead changes now. So I don't know why that's not updating. So, we've had more than one, I promise. As lights go off on the pace car, the field doubles up 2 by 2. Welcome to Internet Racing. A little blinky blink from a couple people there. I've noticed it happens a lot more under pace laps than it does once the green flag flies. Everything chills out for the most part. It's weird that under pace it does that. Field comes out of 4, doubled up. Lumley's on the loud pedal. Great jump. Lumley out to about 3/10 lead already over second place. Galgan, who was fighting back there for 6 most of the race, he's fighting for second now with Brooks. Brooks trying to hold him off on the inside. Brooks still at his door. He's not giving it up yet. Galgan's got the run on the outside. Not quite clear. Now he is. Galgan clears in the second, sets his sights on Lumley. Daniel's up to 8th already. Brunelli's wrapping the bottom, trying to go anywhere these guys aren't. Keith hits the wall a little bit. He clears Keith clear into 8th. Is there enough time with 13 to go? Can he make his way up? Lumley still leads. Field single filed back out again. You got a couple people. Looks like Billy, Greg, and Noah Marshall are starting to fight it out for fourth. Ooh, as Galgan in second hits the wall really good off of 4 there. As the yellow's out. Oh, we got Keith. Keith has crashed. What happens to Keith? Hits the wall. Oh, and the one. Oh, nowhere to go. Oh, one of Jamie DeVoe looked to go on the inside. Keith was... Oh, these cars rotate so weird. There's netcode there. There is netcode. There's a little bit, not a whole lot. But if we go... Oh, let's see. Chopper? Yeah. Slow this down in corner. Yeah, there's... I think they're going to make contact, but netcode's the first thing that sends them around. And then Nate Gregg's got nowhere to go. Hits both Jamie and Keith. And then I believe this... I think Keith Flippin gets involved in this too. Yeah, just trying to wool up and couldn't get it wooled up enough and tapped old Keith again. So this will be caution number 4. Well, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, and that's what's happened here. This will be about either a 5 or 6 lap shootout here to finish this one out. Brumley's up to 7th. So he's made up a little time. Yep. Lights are off. Gonna double up here. Oh, sorry, get a quick drink before we go back green here. Pace car is off. Dominic Lumley leads the field through 3 and 4. Nice slow pace up to the restart zone. Green is out. Lumley with a great jump. Brooks tries to follow him through. Brooks is going to be clear into second. No. Galgan holds him on the outside. A little bit of contact going into 3. Billy Gregg now hounding for 3rd. Colton Brooks is clear into 2nd. Billy Gregg's clear into 3rd. Galgan slips all the way to 4th and is in the fight for 4th with... that's Noah Marshall. Ooh, they make contact. 5 to go. The elbows are out. Oh, Galgan's around off the bumper of Marshall. And... oh. Yeah, this started up here. Play this at quarter speed. Brumley gets in the back of the O2, which pushes him up the hill. And then that in turn turns Galgan. I think, yeah, and then poor Joseph Wentz got nowhere to go. And then back behind the 58 of Ellis gets turned. There's giant net code there again. Between DeVoe and Galgan. Chopper on this again, quarter speed. Yeah, you see the 58 gets turned. Oh, that was netcode. That was just the way that was angled. Yeah, and then that one ended up just being a stack up effect. This is going to put us, I believe, in our first green-white checkered territory. Yes, it will. So 5 cautions for 20 laps here at the line. So this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered. Don't look too far, but Brumley is up to 5th. He is in striking distance now. Am I awful quiet, Tom? Because I can turn it up. Is that better? I'm just a soft-spoken person, Tom. That's my problem. As the pace lights are off, the field's starting to double up. Pace car ducks off. Dominic Lumley and Colton Brooks will bring the field around 3 and 4. Both of them got a great launch last time. Let's see what kind of launch they get this time. Great launch by both of them. Lumley's got him clear for now, but can he get the run on the outside? Brumley is making a move to the bottom. He clears in the 3rd, and then there's contact. He's around. Oh. White flag's out. They can't throw a yellow. Lumley still leads. Brooks still there hounding. That's put Joseph Klein up the 3rd. Can Brooks get a run off of 4 here? Do anything with it? Coming off the line. No. Dominic Lumley goes back to back. Wins last week at Hickory and wins again here tonight at Lucas Oil. What a show. That was a great race. Pull up your guys' results here. That's not the race results. There they are. Dominic Lumley comes in 1st place. Colton Brooks 2nd. Joseph Klein 3rd. Nate Gregg 4th. Jamie DeVoe 5th. Keith Powell battle all the way to 6th. Trey Galgan 7th. Nolan Marshall 8th. Jerry Ellis 9th. Billy Gregg 10th. Kenneth Flippin 11th. Daniel Benelli, another tough finish there. Leading most of the race, comes in 12th. Joseph went 13th. Jaden McGowan 14th. And then Jonathan Wade wasn't able to make the race. Let's see if we can't. Come over here and grab your winner.
But I can get Colton in here.
Dominic.
Hello.
How are you doing tonight, bud?
Pretty good, buddy. How are you?
Good. So tell me a little bit about that race. You were running second for most of it, running behind Daniel there, and then pit strategy fell, put you guys in a different spot.
Well, I personally was trying to play the pit strategy of let him get back out and then me get the top. Just because top was so dominant here tonight. If you were on the bottom, you were out of luck. But then I got beat by 2-3 different other people. So I was like, well, crap. Just try to do what I could there. I was going to send it 3, but I was like, yeah, it's still a little early for me. I don't want to do that, mess myself up. I don't know what happened with the top 2. They got a little tangled up. I was able to just check up enough, turn under them, and luckily, thankfully, bring myself home in a P1 position.
Sometimes it's the right place at the right time.
Yes, sir, for sure. I mean, I them last couple laps there, I was starting to catch them before we got that caution, and then I didn't know if I could make a pass or not. And thankfully, we got a caution. I could get some new tires on the right side here, and it worked out in my favor here. And we're gonna go on to next week.
Well, that's back to back for you, so that should help out in the points battle.
Oh, for sure. I'm hoping it does. I didn't run, I believe, the first race or second race, and I was dead last in points. So hopefully, going into tonight after this, I might see a top 5 in points. I hope so, at least.
That's once you start getting these back-to-back wins and the points start adding up. Sometimes all of a sudden you see that jump all at once, and you're like, "Where'd that come from?"
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm hoping to see, at least. I went from, I believe, 18th 2 weeks ago, finished second, and went to like top 10. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And then won last week. And I didn't even check the points coming into this week. So I don't even know where I'm at. So we're just going to go check the points for now, the updated points, and just look at that and go off that.
Going into tonight, so I don't have the points from obviously right now, but going into the night, you were sitting 4th.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that'll put me somewhere in the top 3.
Yep, the 3 in front of you were Daniel was leading coming into the race. Nate Gregg and Colton Brooks were the 3 in front of you. So.
Oh, okay. Well, if anything, Colton probably has me by about 1 point, I'm gonna say.
It's definitely tight. Like the top 5 are really tight in points. So.
Well, I'm just glad to even be in content for the points after missing, I believe, a week or 2. And this track's my least favorite track out of anything, just because I can't ever figure out a certain line to run. But like you said, running in second for so long, I was able to kind of test a couple different things, see what would work, and I was able to figure it out and make it work the last, I say, 10 laps, I think.
Well, and the big difference we saw from tonight and last week was we had that long green flag run. We didn't get that last week. And it let people try different lines, try different things, where last week you couldn't. You had to go right to the line that worked. There was no investigating. Oh, I think we just lost him. Alrighty. We ended up losing your winner there. Oh, there he is. Let me see if I can't pull him back for just a quick second. Then we'll grab second place. Got you again, bud?
Yeah, my thing just crashed here. I was like, oh.
You gotta love Discord. But yeah, like I was saying, you weren't able to test those different lines last week, so getting a chance to actually try and get different stuff this time and see what would work, that's a big key.
Yeah, it was definitely nice to get that long flag run. It's kind of hard on that considering I've not really ever ran here. So getting that long green flag run, I figured I would have faded off and really figured I wouldn't be talking to you tonight. But like you said, right place, right time, and here I am 2 weeks in a row.
All right. Well, before I let you go, you got anyone you'd like to thank?
Just everybody that puts this on, you for streaming, and interviewing me here. Uh, Everybody for running me clean week in and week out. Hopefully, maybe I think next week's Martinsville, maybe I can talk to you 3 times in a row.
Yep, next week's Martinsville, the paperclip. So you want to talk about some elbows out racing?
Oh, I love that place. We're gonna put on a good show for you guys up there in the booth.
Oh, I don't doubt. These cars are a blast around here. Well, great win tonight. I'm gonna let you go. And then we will grab second place, Colton Brooks. Colton, Dennis up here in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, man.
So, had that long green flag run. You were sitting probably what, fourth, fifth, most of that long run. And
Yeah, I
then
think so.
the caution came out and pit strategy came into play. Where did you think you were sitting after the 2 tire stops, the 4 tire stops?
Well, I got wrecked, and we were past the halfway break, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go pit. Everybody was pitting, so why not? Got 4 tires, and then all that stuff happened in front of me, just dodging, and stuff like that. I'm just happy I got some podium finish. I've had some up and downs this season. Haven't finished the best, but tonight, not the best track, but I finished second.
Hey, sometimes all it takes is one to get the ball rolling.
Right. I'm looking forward to next week. We got 100 laps at Martinsville, and that's probably my best track.
That tends to, with this car, that tends to race very, very well and very, very competitive.
I think there'll be a good car count next week at Martinsville. I'm gonna put it on the pole next week and go win it.
That's a good game plan to have. Anyone you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah. Ottawa wants to say New River Welding and Rigging, Sykes Metal Roofing, Greg Olexton, Chilton Heaton Aaron, and Elite Chassis.
Alrighty. Well, great race tonight. Good second place. Like I was telling Dominic, sometimes it pays to be in the right place at the right time. So
Yeah, well, hoping for the best next week for him and me and everybody else.
Martinsville, it's
It's
you
gonna
never know
it's
what's
gonna be a
gonna
good race.
happen.
It's gonna be a good race, I hope. So we'll see.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Great second place.
Well, thank you, and appreciate you broadcasting.
That was your second place driver, Colton Brooks. Let's go and grab Polar. Polar, how you doing, bud?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Oh, just loving the racing. Really am.
Yeah, I gotcha. I got some decisions to make here on the admin side on what we're gonna do with one of the drivers here.
Well, when it comes to short track racing, there's always a fine line.
Well, the biggest thing is I was just informed that the dude's never gonna lift, and said that any time that he's in front of me, he's gonna run right through him, and I've seen that 2 weeks in a row, so I'm starting to lean that he intentionally did it tonight.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, before we cut out the broadcast tonight, what are your thoughts on tonight?
Man, it went really good. I was really excited. And then we got into that restart, and Tristan sent it right down. Daniel in the game, he sent it right down 3 wide, and I wasn't sure how to feel about that. But in all honesty, if iRacing is not going to give you an incident point for it, then good on you. You're just using all the racing surface you're given. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I think it went good. I'd like to see a couple of the respect things to happen, but we'll get that.
I'll say this is your guys' what, first season doing the late model stocks?
Yes, sir. This is the first time we've done anything short track related, and then first time with the late models. Just trying to get it all figured out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then it's also my first time. Like I've assisted and done admin stuff with mostly Discord. Haven't done much with like the league side. This is my first time messing with this too, so I'm learning as we go week by week, and I feel like as we go and especially next year, we're looking into some good stuff for next season. But we have a bunch of races left this season, and I just think it's getting better and better as we go.
I think anyone that has done leagues is starting a league, and there's growing pains with a league. So, and that's whether it's a short track league, super speedway league, anything out there, there's growing pains with it. But no, I think tonight was I can't complain. Tonight was a great race. Nice long green flag run, something like I was talking to Dominic we didn't get last week. So it's good to see that we can have that, and it's great for everyone at home that watches. They can watch that, and I'm looking forward to next week. Martinsville should put on
Yeah,
a really good show.
and it's 100 laps, so it will be here a little bit longer next week as well. I think in all honesty, I think at least 2, maybe 3 of those cautions were out of Vendetta. If we can get that figured out to where we can get everybody to be on the same page and get rid of the people that have problems with other people and are willing to ruin their race over a disagreement, that's not what we're looking for here. And I feel like if we get rid of that, I feel like we'll clean it up, and there maybe would have been only 2 or 3 cautions in that instead of the 5. So, future plans are to figure out how to clean it up some more.
No, and well, the Amish, the old saying, cautions breed cautions. So
Yeah, you can expect that because it bunches the cars up, but I feel like a lot of the cars were showing some respect and given that space to actually make it through the corner and live another day. I felt like there was a couple cars there that um, made some decisions that are risky, and in all honesty, a lot of the risky maneuvers were still with like 30 or more to go. And to me, if you're not within the first 10 or 15 laps on a restart, give a little bit of space, give a little bit of respect, live to race another day. We're all here to race the same people week in and week out. This is not an official where you can just go find some random group of people every single time. People are gonna remember stuff, and you're gonna start seeing some intentional wrecking, and I'm trying to bite that in the butt before it starts happening.
yep, I get that. Well, we're gonna say good night. Anything that you would like to say to the folks in the broadcast before we call it a night?
Yeah, man. I just want to thank everybody for coming out to watch. Want to thank everybody for coming out to actually participate in the race. We had a good field here, good drivers. I want to thank you, Dennis. You took the time out of your day to work with us and get this amazing broadcast going. Um, and then we got to thank the sponsors. We got to thank YesCar for allowing us to use the YesCar name and the YesCar League to put on this late model show. Got to thank Keith Powell and Big Duke for everything that they do with that. Got to thank everybody in the crew, like Jamie DeVoe, Josh Laughlin, everybody that does help with black flag clears and stuff like that. And then you just got to thank Free to Fly Farm Hauling for everything that they do, putting on these races and everything like that.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's gonna wrap us up in the booth tonight. Everyone, have a great night. And next week we are going to be, or not next week. Next week for this league we're at Martinsville, so that one is something to look forward to. Tomorrow night, AJ will be live with the Winston Cup Replay League, his league in the 87s. We go to Phoenix next for tomorrow night, and then we start wrapping into Wednesday League, which is our ARCA League. So lots going on. Every week from here on out, it's pretty much slam pack, guys. So keep an eye open. Listen to the updates through Discord. Keep an eye on YouTube. There's always going to be something going on. So, all right, everyone, have a great night.